Wait, is Black Ops 1 broken? Where are the servers at? All right, IW4X it is. All right, and we just lost. Yo, all right, what's going on, guys? It's Chev, and we're back here over on some Modern Warfare 2, some IW4X here. I was gonna play Black Ops 1, but I guess not. I don't know what happened to the servers there. Wait, this guy's name is just Weed. Yeah, so yesterday's video that I ended up uploading, I just want to thank everybody for all the love and support and just all of the people that were tweeting at me and leaving comments and stuff like that. Yeah, so yesterday's video actually ended up on trending. It's like at number 10 or something. I think it's like 11 or some shit at the moment that I'm making this, but not just gaming trending, like actual trending, like on the entirety of YouTube, the website. Number 1 was the trailer, and number 10 was myself. Yeah, that was really cool to see. I just want to thank anybody that subscribed yesterday. I saw a big jump there, obviously, by going over onto the trending tab. So, really quick, I gotta correct a few things. I got messaged by a couple people from some of the things that I said in there. I remember specifically that J-God was correcting me and saying that it is a big possibility. I was talking about the large-scale maps, or like the new ground war maps or whatever, and said that basically in Modern Warfare 2019, they didn't plan for it, blah, blah, blah. So it's just a Warzone map, and I said that these maps, the large-scale ones, are actually built for large-scale war or whatever, and said that basically they would be their own maps and that they wouldn't be on the Warzone 2 map. But apparently that could be wrong. I don't know why I would note that if that wasn't the case, but whatever. I'll believe the smarter guy. According to other people, it's actually a very big possibility that the ground war or large-scale maps are actually on the Warzone 2 map. So on day 1, if we have any kind of like theater mode or something like that, we might be able to see the Warzone 2 map in its entirety. Also, they ended up showing more gameplay over at Summer Games Fest and stuff like that. That looks super crispy. And then you guys should definitely see what I mean by like the visual recoil of the weapons is insane. The environments look really good. And I had some people saying shit like, oh, it doesn't look any better. It looks blotchy. It looks ugly. It's like, first of all, I mean, you should try to watch like maybe the 4K trailer or some shit like that. Also, I don't think people realize how big of a graphic and fidelity jump we ended up getting with Modern Warfare 2019. Look at all of the previous games right before 2019. I'm talking games in 2018, 2017. Modern Warfare 2019 was a giant jump in fidelity. Obviously, it's going to be less noticeable this time. But also, I'm pretty sure the trailer was completely recorded over on like console shit, so that's not even like a graphic or fidelity issue. That's literally a hardware issue. Okay, man, I'm not doing this. I just watched my teammate straight up miss like 18 bursts on somebody. I can't do it. Like, the teams are so lopsided on this shit. Holy fuck. Also, I want to say this since people keep asking. I need to clarify once again, yes, I am uploading The Quarry when it comes out. I'm gonna be getting it at midnight just like everybody else, and I'll have part 1 up tomorrow. I heard that the game is up to like 10 hours long, so we got like multiple parts here. Like, if I go like, you know, hour long, should be getting around like, you know, 10 parts. So for all the people asking me and tweeting at me, even though I've already said it multiple times in multiple videos, yes, I am uploading The Quarry tomorrow, okay? I should just have a part up every single day. I'm gonna aim for like an hour each and just go from there. It's been a while since we've been able to actually do this, so it's nice. Also, still in a couple of months, I'm assuming in like October or something like that, we're also gonna be getting the Dark Pictures anthology, again, The Devil in Me, which also in its premise looks more interesting than the other Dark Pictures that we've played so far, so people already loved watching that shit. So also a horror game that's basically like a movie where you just make choices and you don't really have to worry about like messing anything up unless you actually manage to miss the quick time. Also, there's a UFC, so since, you know, obviously I'm uploading The Quarry, I won't be able to talk about it or anything, so I'm gonna say what my predictions are here. Tomorrow we got, it's Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohashka. Yuri Prohashka is probably my favorite fighter at the moment, especially at 205. Obviously, big Tony Ferguson fan. I got a lot of fighters that are definitely, you know, some of my favorites, but Yuri Prohashka has got to be the most exciting 205er I've ever fucking seen. Don't have anybody else that is even close to this guy's style. I've never even seen this kind of fighting style at like even lighter weight classes. Like, it's just, it's weird. He's huge at 205. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's got an 80-inch reach. These are heavyweight measurements, dude. I mean, not to mention also that you don't even need to be like massive to succeed at heavyweight either. I mean, look at Daniel Cormier. Daniel isn't even 6 feet tall, but obviously having an 80-inch reach at, you know, this weight class, especially against people that wouldn't be able to stand up to your kind of power, that's an issue. Obviously, they've had to deal with people like John Jones for a long ass time, so it's not the longest reach that 205ers have ever seen in their lives, but it's up there. Definitely more power than John Jones. That's one thing that John Jones isn't necessarily known for. He doesn't have crazy like one punch knockout power. He can hurt people, absolutely. I ain't saying he's got pillow hands or some shit. He tends to poke and prod and set things up to hit you with a big kick or a big knee or elbow or something like that. Just super dynamic. It's not the same as like Francis Ngannou just winging overhands and hooks and shit like that. It's not how he fights. Yuri Prochazka isn't necessarily like Francis Ngannou either, though. All it takes is you watching one fight of Yuri Prochazka in the UFC to see that this guy is not like any other 205er we've ever seen. With that said, though, stylistically, I can't really tell if it's a nightmare matchup or a dream matchup for these guys, because he's fighting Glover Teixeira. Also, by the way, Yuri is like 29 or some shit like that, so he's still super young. Glover is 42, 43 years old. Now, I mean, he won the belt at 42 years old, so I mean, hey, good for him. He does have a style that can definitely give Yuri Prochazka an issue, much like it did with Jan Blachowicz, where he could just end up boxing and shit like that and get careless, which Yuri does a whole lot. And people underestimate Glover's boxing. Glover's boxing is it's not talked about enough. Glover's boxing is very, very good. The thing is, he's not going to be in a boxing match. Also, he does get hit. He is stationary enough. He knows good defense and stuff like that, but he is older and everything. He kind of depends on his guard and stuff, where Yuri will literally smash into people's guards. He was doing it with people that were much younger, that have higher defenses. They're not hurt as often, and he was smashing through their guards and shit. So he's throwing flying knees straight into their guards. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. Now, obviously, that carelessness that Yuri has is the thing that would definitely get him caught, and he would lose. See, the way that Glover wins this fight is obviously he's going to end up grappling with Yuri, and Yuri just won't be able to stand the old man strength, or maybe I am just overestimating how strong Glover is. Maybe it's not that I'm overestimating it, but more so, maybe the strength will be a bit closer in the grappling department than I'm thinking. I think overall, absolutely, Glover is a better, stronger grappler than Yuri Prochazka, but physically speaking, Yuri is still a very, very strong young fighter, so we'll see how Glover deals with that. Now, Glover did choke out Jan Blachowicz, but Jan is like, 38 years old, and there's definitely like, big size difference between him and Yuri Prochazka. Yuri is fucking beefy. Obviously, I just feel like if Yuri Prochazka wins the belt and whatever, this guy's a star, dude. I don't think people are gonna understand, like, if you've never seen Yuri Prochazka fight, I'm telling you, dude, like, this guy has to be the most entertaining 205er I've ever seen. So obviously, I want Yuri Prochazka to win. I think a lot of people, they just see the couple fights from him that they've seen in just the UFC by itself, and they're like, damn, he got a title shot already, and no one's really even complaining about the fact that he fought, like, 2 people and then has a title shot, because of the way that he was winning those fights. No one's arguing about it. It's like, okay, yeah, Yuri, go ahead and try, man. There's no way that I see this Yuri versus Glover fight going the distance. That's all that really matters here. There's definitely gonna be a finish. Either Yuri's gonna overstep and get caught and then submitted, or whatever, submitted, knocked out, whatever it may be. Although he has crazy fast recovery time, because Dominic Reyes ended up hurting him twice. He hurt him one time, they ended up grappling, and he also ended up getting like flash KO'd from an up kick, but then woke up in the process of falling to the ground. So crazy fast recovery time, but I feel like Glover, obviously, with the experience that he has, he's gonna know when he's got him hurt enough. He's going for it. We got Valentina Shevchenko against Taila Santos. Taila Santos, I mean, maybe I feel like a lot of people are counting her out too much. Maybe it's just because, like, we watched Amanda Nunes lose and shit like that. Like, champs are just losing. Jan Blachowicz losing to somebody like Glover Teixeira, somebody that most people would just count out, like, oh, he's too old to do it. As we see, just because it looks a certain way doesn't mean it will be. I'm obviously gonna go with Valentina Shevchenko here, but I got a weird feeling in my stomach about this one. Like, obviously, Taila Santos here, she's a bit different from the usual opponent that Shevchenko has she completely has dusted her division. People are talking about if she wins this one, she's probably gonna try 135 for the belt. I think Valentina can absolutely just go and work somebody like Juliana Pena. Striking differential would be far too great. Taila is bigger and stronger than a lot of she's much more power in her hand than the recent opponents that Valentina has had. And that's not really Valentina's fault. Valentina just really neutralizes and completely outclasses people in every way, in every single fight. But this might be a fight where strength-wise, she might not have the advantage there. Also, fight of the year, century, decade, I don't even know. Everyone remembers Wei Li versus Joanna, so obviously this fight is not going to be as good as their first one. It's just, it can't be. Like, literally, I don't think there's any fight since that point that's been better than that, to be honest with you. It's probably the best fight in UFC history. I ain't even gonna lie. There have been very, very exciting rounds and shit like that, but overall, in terms of just a full-blown fight, I mean, it's easily the best women's MMA fight of all time, but no, like, actually, it might just be the best fight we've ever had in UFC history. If it's not number 1, it's top 3 all time. No debate in my eye. Now, also, the big difference between that fight and this fight is obviously rematches just usually aren't as good as the first ones. It's just not usually the case. It's hard enough getting a fight that good, but also it's just gonna be, number 1, it's insanely hard to live up to a fight of that caliber. It just is, no matter who you are. But also, rematches tend to be, they got each other figured out a little bit more, and they usually try to be a bit more calculated. They actually have a better game plan this time around. Also, the last one was 5 rounds. This one is only 3, and I don't really know who that favors necessarily. I feel like it should help Wei Li since she presses forward and she could probably have a higher output. Maybe even the wrestling wrestling, you know, get the wrestling going or whatever on Joanna. Doesn't want to sit there and point fight with her or sit there and chase her around the octagon the entire night. I saw so much information. It's crazy how many videos can come out and how many people can be confused about what the fuck was said in all of those videos, even though everybody covered virtually the same exact thing. Oh, I feel like my leg is falling asleep. What the fuck? Cut off the circulation of my leg sitting here or some shit. Got people saying shit like, oh yeah, dude, there's gonna be, like mod tools over on Steam and blah, blah, blah. No, there isn't, dude. There actually won't be. At least not, you know, in year 1 or year 2. Maybe you guys can come up with some mods or some shit like that or whatever, but they're definitely not gonna just allow it out of the gate. I don't know what the f guys are on some shit if you think that's happening. Check my messages, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, also about the sliders, right? Yeah, J-God also tried to correct me on this one. He clarified to me that there's actually, those sliders that I was talking about over in the, weaponsmith. Goes by actual, like, ticks and stuff like that. I think it goes in, like, increments of 5. So there is no, like, in-between where it's, like, if it does go up to, like, 100% or even, like, 50% or whatever it is, it would go up in increments of 5. There wouldn't be, like, the in-betweens of, like, 42.5%, whatever, you know, the measurement would be. Percentage, just tick, I don't know, whatever. So the class setup won't be as crazy or whatever. And then we got, like, these Tarkov guys that are just, like, Call of Duty YouTuber tries to figure out weapons for the first time. Man, if you don't shut the fuck up, fucking weirdo gun nut motherfuckers in my comments, man.
It's actually quite simple.
I'm not saying that it's overcomplicated. I'm saying that it goes against what they were saying. They said that they wanted to make it more simple, and then they didn't. I'm not saying that it's impossible to understand. Watch your fucking mouth. Spew all this knowledge about all of these weapons, and yet you still don't know how to shoot straight with any of them. You're negative every game. I don't give a fuck how much you know. Maybe you should sit on the sideline and coach or something then. Oh, wait. Yeah, so those are my predictions. I'm gonna go with Wei Li, Shevchenko, and Yuri Prohashka. New champ.